IG Loud, now you already know the vibes, brother. Let me know right now, Thuggy.
Life in many different scenarios. We've moved around. I've done a lot of different things, lived a lot of different experiences. And
why you gotta pick these pictures out of all pictures? It makes these look like they the fuck out of all pictures.
Are you? I mean, what do you identify as?
I consider myself British now, but I will say that part of me, the patriotic Brit inside of me, is devastated by the state of the UK currently. I want to make that very clear. The patriotic Brit in me truly
interesting, bigger than
Andrew. Loves this country, and seeing what's happening to it, especially to our major cities, is almost heartbreaking to watch in real time.
In what way?
It's falling apart. This is a failed society. By every metric you can possibly measure, it is absolutely and utterly failing. The cost of living crisis, the crime rates, everything is falling apart. If you compare it to a country like the United Arab Emirates, you compare it to a city like Dubai, London, which should be the greatest city on earth, is failing in absolutely every metric because our leadership is a joke. If you look at Dubai and the UAE, the leadership there is so flawless, so genuinely genius. They saw ahead and have built almost a utopia. And then you look at London, you can't even walk around with a watch on. It's disgusting.
You know, it's very interesting. I was in Qatar for the World Cup. Obviously, a lot of people in England taking a very censorious moral view about the World Cup being in the Middle East.
World Cup. Long ass middle finger. God damn, bro. Longest. My middle finger not long. Fuck you. That's what it is. Because you keep calling me a fucking janitor. Talking about some of my scrub terrorist shit. Fuck yeah.
At all because of their laws against
proud toilet scrubber.
Their treatment of migrant workers. I've got to say, not that I don't share the concerns about those things.
No, but it's called housekeeping.
But I found a lot of the virtue
criminal hands,
and I think that's what it was in many cases, about the whole region actually quite distasteful. Because when I was in Qatar, I thought the World Cup was fantastically well run, incredibly good experience. But a lot of Qataris were saying to me, you know, there's this weird, quaint feeling back in your country that we all want to aspire to behave like that we all want to live in a country with massive drug problems, with massive knife crime issues, with scenes like the European Championships final where it's complete lawlessness going on, where stuff like the NHS, the system of healthcare, is basically collapsing, where the education system is dropping behind, so on and so on and so on. And it's a really interesting perspective. They were like, I know you all think that we want to have your form of democracy and your form of life, but actually, we're fine, thanks.
Absolutely, because it's a failed society, and it's godless. I think it's disgusting. We leave our old people to rot in old people's homes, and then we sit...
I take care of them, and you not lying. They is definitely rotten, bro, in the respectful way possible. Those people up in there are sad, depressed. Yes, bro, and it's true, bro. I work at a nursing home, bro. I see the shit. I clean the room. Fuck you and that scrub toilet job. How the fuck do you hear scrub toilet? See, everybody else here, he do good for the old people at the job. The only thing you hear is me scrubbing toilet. Fuck you.
Sit there and say we don't have enough money for nurses. I understand this nurse strike very well and how frustrating it can be if you walk into a hospital and the nurse is not prepared to work. But the nurses would be prepared to work at the current wage if they believed this country was spending its money prudently. When you see this country spending its money and just absolutely wasting it, pulling out of thin air to fund proxy wars, God knows where, that has nothing to do with them. Of course, as a nurse, you're going to stand up and say, well, can't I get a pay rise? This country has failed on every metric. True. And especially our major cities. I've just come to London now. I made it very clear to my private jet pilot. I said, fuel the jet and leave it running, because the second I'm finished talking to Piers, I'm leaving this cesspit. It's disgusting. This country, and London as a whole, 10 years ago, was one of the most hospitable cities on earth. Now you cannot walk around safely with a watch on. And you're a full-grown man. You're a full-grown adult. When's the last time there's been a serious problem in your life that you completely ignored and it fixed itself? Never, ever. What are any of our politicians doing to fix any of the problems we're genuinely facing?
Well, I saw today that Sadiq Khan is planning to run again for the third term of office as mayor.
You will never make it, black boy. What the fuck? Get a real 9-to-5 pussy. I would rather take care of these old people because I get a nice feeling, bro, and I'm, you know, doing good for them and shit. So this is a real 9-to-5 pussy. Here, Jermaine, come get it. You so fucking racist, bro. This nigga putting bananas at gorilla.
All I can say is everyone I know who's had any experience of crime at any level in London in the last few years has had a bad experience of it, of the way it's been handled. You know, I mean, I can give an example. I can reveal this now. I've talked for 18 months. I got a specific death threat on one of my son's Instagram pages. In public, a public comment. And it was very specific about what this person was going to do. Yeah. I couldn't use the police to evade him. We know where you live. We're going to come and kill you. And then a second one threatening my son and his mother, my ex-wife. I called in the police. I thought, I'm not having them putting death threats on my son's thing.
Sure.
I called the police. Police investigated this. They arrested somebody over a year ago. And then I heard from the police this week that despite 18 months of investigation, of a publicly posted comment on Instagram threatening to kill me on my son's Instagram, that they will not be able to pursue the case. Now, and I thought, imagine...
$12 shut the fuck up. Hey, got them shit marks off the toilet bowl, bro. That'd be the worst. And it'd be the shit streaks on the toilet seat, bro. They'd be blowing it.
I'm high profile. This was a front page of the Sun newspaper, this story.
If that same man called a transgender person the wrong pronouns, he would be in trouble.
Right.
So doesn't it just show how absolutely asinine and banal our legal system has become? That would never happen in a country like United Arab Emirates, the place I'm now residing in, Dubai, where the leadership has common sense. And I'm saying that all the leadership structures, doesn't matter if it's Labour or Conservative, across all of it in this nation have completely and utterly failed. Sadiq Khan is a loser, because when you have a city which is losing, which London is losing in all metrics across its competitive cities around the world, and you're in charge of it, by extension, you're a loser. I will tell you right now, instead of virtue signaling and giving Qatar a hard time over their religious beliefs, what we should be doing is a treaty with Qatar to build a prison deep in the desert. Make me mayor of London. We'll make a prison deep in the desert, and if you're caught with a knife or robbing someone, you can go do 25 years with one meal a day in the scorching sun. And then what we'll do is we'll put cameras there and we'll interview you once a week and broadcast that out to the nation and see if you change your mind and make people understand that this is a country that should be respected and our laws should be respected. Instead, what happens? What has Sadiq or any of the people in charge of this country actually done to fix any of our issues besides sit around and talk? Nothing. None of them have done anything, but they seem ultra concerned with finding money for proxy wars, ultra concerned with rainbow flags in another country that is uninterested in them, and their priorities are completely messed up. Of course the ambulance people are. Of course the ambulance drivers are striking. Of course the nurses are striking. Nobody cares about the most important things in this nation. It's a failing country in real time, and that's why I've left.
What about the specific allegation? By the way, I don't disagree with a lot of that, because I do think this country is in big trouble. And I do think that one of the problems is people think if they do have a crime against them, nobody cares anymore.
I know nobody.
They just normalize the shit.
Nobody cares. I have specific...
And I'm talking for the U.S. too, bro.
Examples and people who I know
But
personally.
I think I'd rather get shot than stabbed, bro. Bro, you gotta be a cold-blooded, you gotta be a whole cold-hearted ass nigga to stab, bro. Stabbing somebody, you looking at the niggas, shanking his shit. What the I just did a whole punch, but still. Stabbing is what the like how that shit work? Come here, bitch. Stab. Like what the fuck? Or would they sneak up behind you, slit your what the shit, remind me not to go to London. $12 $12 an hour, shut the fuck up, broke boy. You got your pockets ran from the Miami. The entire paycheck went to the Miami trip up. You just don't know, little kid. I'll fly your mama out right now. Give her the time of her life.
Personally, absolutely and utterly nobody cares. I was in Harrods yesterday and someone tried to rob someone's watch in the middle of the store. I walk around with I have a security team of 6 full-grown men, plus me and my brother, 8 military-age males, all over 110 kilos, big men, just so I can walk around this city. It's absolutely unacceptable.
Forget everything you know about
what?
Hey, y'all want me to roll around security? I got $10. You got $10 in your bank account. Shut the fuck up. You make money by robbing banks. You so damn racist. Hey, if y'all watching on YouTube, pull up to the Twitch stream. We stream every single day on Twitch. I'm so tired of dealing with this nigga named Tremaine_Peewee on Twitch. Link to it in the description. Tremaine_Peewee on Twitch. Every day Twitch streams.
What about the issue of race? And I mentioned that in the context of the Harry and Meghan ongoing debate, their war with the royal family, war against the monarchy, their specific constant referencing to the fact that they believe they were driven out of here because of racism in Britain. What do you make of that debate?
That's absolute fallacy.
You're from a mixed race background yourself.
Correct. I'm from a mixed race background myself, and while we're discussing the leaders of the UK, although I do think they're doing a terrible job, it's kind of hard for Meghan to say that the UK is a racist country when the leader of the UK is darker skinned than her, and the mayor of London is darker skinned than her, and I am a person who's probably darker skinned than her, and I've never experienced any kind of bigotry against myself, besides the fact I'm a straight male. I'll get bigotry for that before I'll get bigotry for my skin color. I think it's just a cop-out, and her not wanting to be perspicacious and self-reflective enough to understand that she has attacked an age-old institution, and there are people who are very patriotic about that institution, and by attacking it and bringing a degree of distaste to it, there's going to be people who don't like her. And if you're a dislikable person, you can't just instantly stand up and say it's because of my skin color. It might be because of your actions and some of the things you've said.
I mean, I think there's probably no doubt she's had racism on social media because it's
who hasn't, Piers?
It's assessed.
You probably have.
Well, as I said just now, I've had death threats on social media, and no one seemed to care very much.
Yeah.
But I think that's probably inarguable. My issue with what they've both been doing is if you're going to make allegations against an institution like the royal family and the monarchy, you've got to actually provide some evidence. You can't just spray gun this thing out there and say, well, somebody was racist.
Yeah, and airing dirty laundry is never going to be respected by the populace, and being a tattletale is never going to be respected by the populace. And I think the problem with the modern world we're living in is a lot of age-old traditions are being destroyed in real time. It doesn't matter what the tradition is. Most of them are being eroded. And something like the British royal family, which has been around for a very long time, is an age-old tradition. One of the things holding the UK together, one of the last things we have, to sit and detriment it and to sit and insult it and to give away secrets from inside of it and try and paint a negative image of it is going to upset a lot of people. And you have to be prepared for that backlash. You can't say I've done things that upset people, but it's nothing to do with what I've done. It's purely because of my skin color. Also, it's kind of ironic that she's doing that because she's not particularly dark-skinned. It's kind of funny to watch her sit and say, race.
I think the truth is, I don't know what. Look, you can say that. I can't. The reality of it is, I just don't know what the specifics of the racism she says she's had.
I don't get
because we've not seen any evidence.
The universe is a funny place, Piers. If you're looking for something, you're going to find it, right? When I got canceled, when they attacked me unfairly, lied about me across the entire mainstream media, deleted me from social media so I couldn't defend myself, and lied about me repeatedly, I could have stood up and said, it's because I'm brown. I didn't do that. I sat and said, okay, there's people who misunderstand my message. My message is a positive one. People misunderstand me. Let me self-reflect and understand that, yes, perhaps this said a long time ago was said in the wrong way. Perhaps this was misunderstood.
Yeah, because they don't like the way how you say it. They don't like how it make them feel. You said it in a mean way, even though you said a fact. The sky is blue versus the sky is fucking blue, bitch. The fucking difference.
Perhaps people don't understand this. I could have just copped out and could have
the
just
world
been
is soft,
refusing to
you
self-reflect on any level and said
spitting.
it's because I'm brown, that's why they did it. But that's not the mature way to be as an adult.
What did you think of the Jeremy Clarkson furore, where he wrote what I think most people, but including him belatedly after he'd published it and written the column, he did make an analogy from a Game of Thrones scene, which most people, I think, did find crossed a line and was deeply offensive. I think it crossed a line. What do you think?
Yeah, I understand why people feel that. But when you attack an institution as old as the British royal family, you're attacking patriotism in and of itself for one of the most respected countries, or previously most respected countries on earth, and you're going to have some visceral...
Hey, Piers, let him talk. I just recognized that. Shit, shout out Piers. Piers Mug, he finally let him talk.
Reactions. Perhaps Jeremy Clarkson is too famous and too well-renowned to say those kind of things, but there's a lot of people who genuinely feel that way, and that's why he said it. And this is what happens when you attack age-old institutions in any country.
Should he have apologized?
That's a good question. It looks like he did. Personally, I think as a man, you should stand up, say what you mean what you say. I don't think you should ever apologize for anything you've ever said. Even me.
What if you say something truly very offensive and you actually do regret it?
If you truly regret it, then yeah, okay, you can apologize. But if at the time you meant it, then the best thing you can do is say, look, I have just changed my mind. I no longer feel that way. But at the time, that's how I felt. And I'm the person who says what he feels. And that's what I felt.
Fun fact. They like that shit, too. Fun fact.
At the time, and I apologize that offended you.
Andrew Tate, we'll be back with you after the break. We'll talk to you about Twitter again. Elon Musk restoring his platform. Has it...
There's got to be some old school shit.
Calmed you down? Are you as controversial on there? Are you mindful that you're only one false move like Kanye West, for example, away from being removed again? Elon Musk has restored a throng of banned accounts that's taking over Twitter with a sworn commitment to free speech.
Bro, anybody reacted. This shit is taking up half of the video, just the commercial breaks and shit, bro. The intro was fucking 30 hours.
It's also shown he has a line of his own, though. He then banned back 2 for now. Anyway, he was first removed in 2017 for saying women should bear some responsibility as victims of rape, and he hasn't exactly been shy since his reprieve. Let's take a look.
We're creating a free affiliate alliance right
You really no such thing as free. We all know you won't gain.
now. Okay, this is the best affiliate opportunity, in my opinion.
Hey, Cheryl. Who the fuck is Cheryl? I'm so tired of y'all. Why the fuck y'all keep calling me these random ass names? Bronny Jane, Cheryl. The fuck?
Genghis Khan had endless women and 200 children as a reward for conquest. He tweeted, "I'm the most searched man on the planet. I've conquered Earth. I'm the highest status male on the planet. Females do not expect loyalty from me. They only expect that of lesser men." Then there was this. Imagine having less than 10 children because you're a
Pussy bitch.
who doesn't have 4.
Pussy bitch.